guys, I'm Miss Jess. This is going to be, let's see, project number 5 for first and second graders. If you are with me on Wednesdays, this project is for you. Again, this is your number 5. You're gonna look through your kit and you are gonna find a board that looks like this and also a little bag of goodies that is going to be clipped with a clothespin. So the first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna be making worms to go underground and grass to go overground. So this is gonna be kind of like a sneak peek under the soil. So we're gonna do our sky color, and then we will do our soil color, and then we'll work on our worms and our grass, and we'll put it all together. All right, so first, let's see, let's do our sky first. And what color is the sky? That's right, we're gonna do some blue. So I'm gonna take out of your kit, you're gonna have your blue paint, and you can use one of your sticks. I'm gonna take I'm just gonna pop this right on. And we were working above this tape line, okay? Where all the cross hatchings of tape below the line, that's gonna be below the grass, below the soil. So first we're working above ground, and what I'm also gonna do is, yes, the sky is blue, but I'm also gonna add in a little bit of white just to give it a little bit of a different variation. And so I'm gonna use the other end of my stick. I'm just gonna pop this all over. Okay, so we have, you can always kind of wash these off and use them for different colors too. And so now that we have our colors all on, I'm just gonna mix it all up. And again, you wanna stay above this taped line, okay? Because remember, we're just working on the sky right now. Now, let's say I get a little bit of blue down here. Is that okay? Yeah, no big deal. But just keep an eye on what you're doing and move your paint all over on top. Oh, it's kind of cool because it kind of has some different variations of blue. I'm gonna add a little bit more white to this. So I like the white. And also the cool thing about this is that you can save this blue brush for a little bit later for when we make our grass. Because what two colors make a nice green grass color? Blue and yellow, which we will mix up in a little bit. But again, I am just filling up my sky. I'm gonna give it a little bit of texture, so I'm gonna hop, hop, hop all over. Okay. Let me get it all covered. Okay, so now we have our sky all finished. It's nice and blue. Now I'm gonna work on my soil that's underneath this middle line, and it's where all these little pieces of tape are. Now we want all those little pieces of tape because that's where our worms are gonna crawl through. And if you guys have ever talked about the importance of earthworms, they're really important because they help irrigate the soil, and so water and nutrients can get to the plants. It makes things grow, so it's super important. But again, I'm going to save my brush because now we're going to use a different kind of brush for this. If you guys can find this cool spongy guy out of your pack, and we're going to make our soil. What color do you guys think we're going to make our soil? Yep, we're going to do some brown. So again, I'm just going to pop some brown all over. And with my spongy brush, I'm gonna just hop it all over, okay? Get it all covered. And I'm using my spongy brush to give my soil a little bit of texture. And it's okay if we cover up the tape, that's what it's there for. We are covering up the tape and all of the cardboard. We're gonna let this dry a little bit before we take off the tape. And I'm just hopping. pop. Get it all covered. Do you guys know, when do earthworms like to come out? I always see them after it rains or while it's raining. And they kind of get washed out of the soil. What other things live underground? Are there any animals that live underground? Maybe mice and moles make their home down there. Okay, I'm almost done. This is a workout for your arms, guys. And you can use your brush too for this. You don't necessarily have to use this tool if you don't want to. This just kind of gives it a little bit of a different texture. I'll bring this close so you guys can see it. Okay, so we're not gonna take off the tape quite yet. We're gonna work on some other things first, and then we'll take off the tape, and then we'll put it all together, okay? So I'm gonna put this over to the side to dry. And next, I'm gonna work on my grass. I'm gonna clean up my space first. I'm gonna work on my grass. And your grass are these long triangles. They're like blades of grass. So your blade of grass has a thicker part down here and then a skinnier part down here. This is the part that's gonna go towards the center. It's gonna be growing up from the ground like this. So we are going to mix up some green for our grass. And I would suggest use as many of these, or just use all the ones that you guys have in your pack, because you can always kind of overlap your grass. Okay, so I'm just kind of laying these out in front of me. I'm gonna just do, I have a little bit more than what I put in your guys' pack. So I'm just gonna lay them out like this. Okay, so I have all my grass, and then I'm gonna mix up some green. So I still have my blue brush from before. So what two colors make green? We have blue and yellow. So I'm just gonna pour out a little bit of yellow. You can also use your oil pastels. You can use your watercolor. It's up to you guys. If you want to do a little mix of both, you can. Now, I'm also going to still add a little bit of blue. Blue has a stronger pigment than yellow, so I'm just going to do a teeny tiny drop. And I also still have all that blue on my brush, so you guys can go ahead and mix that up. And go hop, hop, hop. Okay, so I have a nice grassy green. I'm going to paint all my pieces of grass. Now, I'm doing this on a table that is super easy to clean. If you guys have newspaper at home, you can always put your newspaper down. You can use a bag from your kit. Up to you. And I'm just filling up the whole thing. If you guys want to make different kinds of green for your grass, that's kind of cool too. It kind of give your grass some different dimensions. And I am kind of making a big mess, but that's okay. I'm gonna clean it up afterwards before I move on to my next part. Also, you guys wanna make sure you're cleaning up after each part so that all your colors don't get mixed together. Because if I keep the green on the table and then move to my worms are gonna get all green too. So you wanna make sure each part stays true to its color. You guys are more than welcome to take as much time on this as you want. I'm kind of speeding through, but you can also kind of go back through and give your blades of grass some extra love. And I'm gonna put this into my water. I'm gonna leave these just like this. I'm actually gonna kind of stack them. And as long as you don't leave them like this, they're gonna be fine. They're not gonna get all stuck together, because I'm gonna bring back my background and we're gonna take off the tape. Here we go. So I'm gonna put these over to the side. I'm gonna bring back my background. Now you can kind of wait till this is all dry. I think it's easiest to take off the tape while it's still a little bit wet. So you're gonna slowly take off your tape. So if you flip it over to the back side, you kind of have all these little ends that are taped down. I would make all those loose first. And just take your time. They're not moving. Find another end that will. There we go. And I'm just undoing all of these, so it'll be a little bit easier when I'm pulling them off. There we go. Last one. Take your time. Okay, so they're all loosey-goosey. So now I can start taking them off. You can kind of hold this down and then with your other hand, just slowly pull it off and then you'll have a clean stripe underneath. Now if you get to a place where it doesn't move anymore, just move to another piece of tape. Start moving that off. If it starts to rip some of the cardboard, actual paper, no worries. Just go really slow. You don't want to rip this off too hard, because you don't want all the cardboard to get ripped off. And if it does get a little bit ripped off, you can kind of go back through with your colors and kind of touch it up a little bit. No worries. I'm just kind of slowly making this big ball of tape. Also, you want to be careful of your fingers. You want those little tunnel ways to stay as clear as possible for your wormies. It's gonna be like your worm's home. Okay, there we go. We're almost there. Slow and steady wins the race, you guys. No rush. Okay, we're almost there. Okay. Boom. Okay, so now we have all of our little tunnel ways all clear. And now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and glue on our grass blades. So I'm just gonna do some lines of glue. So we're gonna glue on our grass. Remember, the thicker part goes toward that center line, and then the thinner part goes up towards the sky. You can overlap your blades as you go. I'm gonna first kind of put them all over and then see where we need to fill in, just so that you don't run out of grass too. If you want more grass, you could always go through, or you could cut out some paper and color it green. You could also go through old magazines or grab newspapers and color those green. You can always add more to this. Okay, and our grass does kind of go off the top, and that's okay. So we have our grass. And then we're gonna go ahead and start making our worms. So for your worms, you guys are gonna have a little bit of, your clay is reddish brown, and then some friends might have a little pack of Model Magic. So the little pack of Model Magic will be in a little half pack like that. You can make as many worms as you want. If you're using the Model Magic is white, so you will want to mix up some pink for your worms, or whatever color of worms you want. You can use red and white to make your pink and paint your worms. But I'm gonna just show everybody how to make your worms using this clay. So you're gonna take a little ball at a time. You guys can play with it for a little bit. This is our salt and flour clay. You're just gonna take a little chunk at a time, depending on how many worms you want. I'm gonna do about 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of divvy up my clay. So I'm gonna make sure I have 5 balls of clay. And again, you guys can make as many as you want. Some can be a little bit longer, some can be a little bit skinnier, some can be thicker. It's up to you. All right, so first, just to kind of get it nice and smooth, I'm gonna roll it into a ball, and then I'm gonna roll my hand using my palm and all my fingers together. I'm gonna roll it up to the center of the table and back towards me, up to the center of the table, back towards me, just using a little bit of muscle. You know what, I might even use less worms because these guys are pretty long. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, as I make these, I'm gonna go ahead and glue them onto my background. These worms are pretty long, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna make 3. That sound good? Yeah, let's do 3. Do like a big one, a couple little ones. And you can also kind of bend them through the tunnels too. I know it's kind of hard to see because the pink and the brown are similar colors, but I kind of bent him so he is going through this little tunnel and then he's making a right turn onto another. And then I'm gonna roll out another one, put this guy in. Earthworms are very important for the soil. They wiggle through and make it possible for water and things to get through. I'm gonna put this guy over here. He's following this guy. You can also kind of make them a little wiggly through the tunnel. They don't have to just be straight. Okay, so now I have my wormies on. And now, so we have all these. You guys also have, who's this? You have a little butterfly in your kit too. So with your butterfly, you can use your oil pastels and color your butterfly. You can also use your watercolor. You can use anything in your kit to jazz up your butterfly. I want my butterfly to stand out, so I'm gonna use some red and some orange. And you guys can make it any color you want. The cool thing about butterflies is they are symmetrical. And what does symmetrical mean? It means one side is the same as the other, right? So if I put a circle on this side, I'm gonna put a circle on this side too. You guys could also make a symmetrical butterfly by taking your sticks of paint. Okay, you'll put little dots using your sticks of paint. And I'm just doing this on one side. I'm gonna put some dots over here. And my little dots aren't really touching. I'm gonna do some yellow. And then I'm gonna fold them in half and give them a little press. Some of that paint might kind of squish out. Don't be alarmed. It's gonna be okay. Okay, give it a good squish. And then you can slowly open it. Looks so good.
Oh, wow.
And you have a fun rainbow butterfly, okay? And then, so what you can do, you can let this guy dry, or you can go ahead and you're gonna glue him onto this little clip. You can glue him onto your clothespin, because then you can attach him or her to your background. And I'm gonna put him right up here. He might fall. That's okay. My worms might fall too, and that's okay. And this is pretty much all it. You guys could always add more stuff to this too. Again, I love going through old magazines, and you can find flowers, and you can cut out flowers and put them into your grass. You could add more bugs of your choosing, but this is all it for my first and second graders. This is project number 5. All right, bye friends.